Thanksgiving is a time to bring family together and share in tradition. Having your extended family gathered around provides the perfect opportunity to take steps into discovering your family's story. Acclaimed author of the bestseller When the Cypress Whispers, Yvette Corporon, shares tips on discovering yours. Thank you so much for joining us. What inspired you to write When the Cypress Whispers?
So When the Cypress Whispers, my novel, is inspired by my grandmother's life and stories that she told me about her time back in Greece during World War II, where she was one of a group of villagers who all worked together to hide and save a Jewish man from the Nazis. Those stories of her life and also what it is to be a Greek-American woman with one foot growing up in each culture was very much a part of me wanting to get our story down on paper and writing When the Cypress Whispers.
So how exactly did you begin the search for your family's history?
You know, I started really close to home, listening to the stories that my grandmother shared, asking my father, my aunts, uncles, anyone else who had experienced it, who had lived it, what they remember. And then I started doing a little bit of historical research. I went back to Greece, I knocked on doors, I went to the main island of Corfu, and I pounded the pavement, knocking on doors in the Jewish quarter and asking anyone what they knew and if they could help me fill in the blanks about the family or what happened actually during World War II. And I have to tell you, we learned a lot, but also I came up empty a little bit. 70 years after the Holocaust, people's memories fade. And it wasn't until I logged on to the website myheritage.com that I really had some groundbreaking changes and some new information that was really exciting.
And how did myheritage.com help you to find out the last missing piece of that family history?
Well, after I wrote When the Cypress Whispers, I realized it wasn't enough just to tell a fictionalized account of my grandmother's story in life. I wanted to finish telling the story that she'd begun so many years ago, the story that I never really, stopped and paid that much attention to when she was still with us. So I started searching for the family, and as you can imagine, it was not an easy task. 70 years after the Holocaust, as I said, memories fade, and documents are not as up to date as they should be. And I came up year after year after year, I came up empty. And I finally reached out to the Holocaust Museum in Israel, and after about a year of trying to help me, they sent me an email one Sunday morning, 7 a.m. I sat in my kitchen in my pajamas, and they sent me an email with the name of a family member. I then took that name and I plugged it into the database of myheritage.com, and after so many years of searching, after so many dead ends, within 5 minutes, I was staring at a family tree, and each branch had the different family members that I had been searching for. And within 30 minutes, I was in touch with the family. And after finally speaking to the family, I realized that they had no idea about our story. Because like many Holocaust survivors, their mothers never spoke of the war. Their mothers never told their children how they managed to survive. So it wasn't until I called and reached out and shared our story with them that they really knew what happened to their own family during the Holocaust.
So why is Thanksgiving such a perfect time to start kind of diving into one's family history?
I mean, think about it. Thanksgiving is one of the really rare times when you have so many different generations gather around the table together, everyone under the same roof. Everyone is so busy. It happens, very, very few and far between these days, which is really sad. So I really hope that people listen to what happened to me and are inspired to seek out their own family story. Not only do I want people to do this because I personally know how rewarding it is, but myheritage.com also would like to help people to seek out their own family story and to start writing their own family tree. So myheritage.com is offering a discount code for people who want to do just that. And if you go onto their website and type in the code Cypress Whispers, of course, from my book, When the Cypress Whispers, you'll get a 30% discount and you can immediately start building your family tree. And like I learned really quickly, amazing things can happen when you do.
And what are some tips you have for helping others gathering their own family story?
Absolutely. It can sound really daunting to take this upon yourself. It sounds like a big task. It really isn't, I promise you. Start asking questions. Start recording the answers. Tell the kids to record, cell phone conversations with grandparents, aunts, and uncles. Start writing things down. Even family recipes. Thanksgiving, get in the kitchen and record Grandma making her famous stuffing, or Aunt Flo making her casserole. Because it's not enough sometimes to just write recipes down. I promise you, years down the line, if you have these videos of Grandma making this delicious stuffing when she's no longer with you, it's going to be something really special to pass on. So, tips like that are really wonderful. Also, just go on to myheritage.com and start building your family tree. They will automatically link you up with other family trees if they're matches, and documents pop up you'll actually find documents and you'll get, a little notification on your screen and you can instantly see the documentation of your family. It's really amazing.
Thank you so much, Yvette.
Thank you. And check out my book, please, When the Cypress Whispers. You can catch that at harpercollins.com, or you can go onto my website, YvetteCorporon.com, and I hope to hear from you.
Don't go anywhere. The Morning Blend will be right back.